not all that great when they don't have superior numbers. We have the manpower to reinforce these units. And the Netherlands are now independent. Good for them. Speaking of that, we don't have anyone spying for tech reduction costs, so we're going to remedy that situation. I don't like that we have so few troops here at the moment, but we'll get them back pretty quickly. At least in theory. Okay, so we can get reduced unrest and visor costs. I'm going to take that, as we are going to be gaining territory. Okay, these troops are standing right there, so I'm going to see if we can hit them. They could potentially get reinforced by the Koreans. We don't know where they are. That could be really bad for us, but we're going to gamble on it. And that was worth the gamble. We stack wipe them. And Korea is going to face a big problem that they don't have enough infantry to wage a very effective war effort. And we can get better artillery. And this is really when artillery is going to actually start being useful on the battlefield. We'd get all around better artillery. So we're going to do that right now. Not playing ahead of time cost. So we'll do that, and we'll just immediately upgrade those as I don't see any enemy troops around, and we're about to tick to the next month. So what do we want out of our artillery? Well, we want offensive fire, so we're going to take the large cannons. We can support another unit of troops, and some of these native groups are big, so we'll throw that unit there. There we are getting cheaper mercenaries and about to get more tolerance to the true faith. So things are moving in the right direction. Looks like we're going to be attacked here. I wouldn't be surprised if they win this battle. But it's going to come as a cost. And I really wish we wouldn't retreat across an entire continent. I really don't want to lose that prestige, but our prestige is pretty high and we're going to be winning battles. We have the money, so we might as well get permanent defensiveness, otherwise we lose a little prestige. My goal will be to avoid losing any more battles against Korea. Get more prestige, more piety. It's a pretty big stack, but they're going to have to go up here to this fort and try sieging it out. which means that we should be able to unite our two armies together. And if they spread out like that, we will certainly make them suffer for it. Okay, we're going to wait here. These are mountains, so I don't really want to attack into them. Ming is attacking Yaren. And Korea may intervene on one side or the other. I think I'd like to block their way off, that those armies cannot reinforce each other. And now we're going to march over and try to wipe out this army as best we can. Finishing off our exploration ideas. Doesn't do a whole lot for us, but it does give us this tolerance to the true faith and brings us closer to completion of our track here. Lost general. But I have few complaints about his replacement. And we do have tons of military points, so we're just going to pull this out and see if we can inflict a lot of damage. Send a smaller army over to relieve our fort, and the larger army we're going to march onward to Korchin's capital. Actually, we're going to just stop and get the war goal first. Then take this capital and march onward to Korea. And that was a nice break. We got to hit them when they weren't quite ready. We actually got to hit them when we had more troops, which hasn't always been the case. We can now attack the Timurids, so we've got all sorts of war options. I like that. It does mean that we should start planning out a war against the Timurids, who are currently getting beaten up. Okay, we stack wiped somebody else. Should be Korchin's army. We've broken the walls of the fort, so it's only a matter of time before that province surrenders to us. And now this smaller army can actually take on the army of Korea. They do have a good general, so we can't be sloppy, but we should be able to win battles against them, as long as we're careful about terrain and reinforcements. And now things are looking really ugly for our enemies. They don't have a whole lot going for them in this war at this point. Okay, we're simply going to block the path that Korea uses to move forward. I think we're going to sit there for a couple months, get some men back. We have no major incentives to push the offensive. Generally have a philosophical opposition to fighting somebody's rebels for them. But we'd like to keep moving into... Oh, rebels popping up everywhere. Yeah, so now we have that province. Let's close off this one. And we're just going to let that war exhaustion grow. It's not going to be a major factor in the success of our war effort. Anyway, so my initial plan was to beat up Korea, take their money. I'm not sure if we're going to stick to that plan. Let's see how desperate they are for peace. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. So Korea is low. They do have a lot of money, so if we can get 10 war score, we could take that money from them. So let's bait their army north, sit on their fort, see if we can squeeze a few more war score out of it. And their army is marching north, taking that bait. And now I've got some provinces that'll be producing very respectable manpower. We now have fur as a trade good. Monopoly. don't really want to do a river crossing here, so we're going to move around, and we should have the troops we need. Okay, so Muscovy's gone to war with Crimea. We are hitting them in the mountains here, but I did not want to let them get away. And that didn't really give us any worse war at all. So we'll just let our units refill a little. Alright, I don't like the fact that our manpower is dropping. So I might consider actually taking this. And we're going to have to deal with the Timurids before they lose all their territory. Well, everyone is piling on the Timurid bandwagon, so they're going to be hurting. Okay, I don't like that because that was our fort. We've now lost both of our forts, so we're going to have to do a little bit of reconquest from those rebels. However, Korea should be out of this war in just a second. So we can take this from Korea, and I think we'd like them to break up with Ming. So they'll accept that, give us all their money. And now we'll kick Cochin while they're down. And Ming took all this territory from Yaren, so we definitely need to get a bridge across. Okay, Sind wants us to join their war against the Timurids, and we're going to have to accept that. So one of our armies is going to push west. Gotta take this province to keep them from being able to make any troops. And we'll just go to their capital. Nice, now we get a nice event where we can either reform our army or the navy, or both. And I do like this morale of armies boost, so we're going for that. Just on general principle. We don't even have a navy. So that will give us some more opportunities for developing our provinces. Okay. We lost some trust with Korea here. I see no reason why we shouldn't become their friends again until we've dealt with Ming. So we can make 3,000 more troops. Let's just make one here. And now we are suffering from high war exhaustion. I'm going to buy it down a little bit to get more manpower.